Hey, what's up? My name is Erica. I'm from Eric Kindly and welcome to my channel. So in this video, I will be talking about the 25, a lot of different types of guys, 5 times 5, 25 types of guys that all girls should try to avoid. If you enjoy this video, please subscribe to my channel, turn on the post notifications, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your friends if you enjoy, but without further ado, let's get right into the video. Number 1, cheaters. How do people get so uncomfortable and so closed off in their relationship that they decide to make the decision to cheat? If you're doing it just to do it, then why don't you do it when you're not in that relationship? So what I think is, if you can, definitely make it an option to talk to your significant other before you do something like this. And if you really cannot work it out, then just break off that relationship so you're not going to have to live with the guilt of being a cheater in a relationship. You may feel a lot of guilt for doing it if you are the cheater, but think about the other person that's on the other end of the line, your significant other who hasn't cheated and has been so loyal to you, and they're going to feel insecure in some part of their future relationships because of what you've done to make them feel like they're not good enough for you and not good enough in general. So I think that leaves a very bad mark on them for the future. So if you can eliminate those types of people, those cheaters that have been cheaters in your potential significant other, then do it. Number 2, guys with only girlfriends. Now for this case, I think there's 3 different reasons why. Number 1, I feel like he might be exploring his sexuality. Maybe he's bi, maybe he's gay, I don't know, but you don't want to be on the short end of that stick. Number 2, he doesn't get along with other guys, and that is a major red flag. As a guy, you should get along with other guys and you should have guy friends, come on. And number 3, if he has only girlfriends and a lot of girlfriends, what does that say about you and how important you are? What are his intentions? So those are all things you have to think about, but if you can avoid them, avoid them. Number 3, he flirts with other girls in front of you. I can understand his perspective that he might be trying to make you jealous, and in turn he thinks that that's a strategy to make you like him, but that will backfire. That doesn't work. You know, the best thing is talk it out. So if he is actually doing this, you're better off without him, because if he has his eyes on someone else, you're probably not his first option. Number 4, a man who is not willing to improve himself. I think this is a pretty obvious one, and it goes for both men and women. You want someone that is willing to work hard and want to become the best version of themselves that they can be. Also someone that can acknowledge their strengths and their weaknesses, make their strengths better, and acknowledge those weaknesses and work on those as well. Number 5, arrogant men who are full of themselves and obsessed with their physical appearance. It's one thing to take care of yourself, go to the gym and exercise and eat right, to take care of your personal hygiene. That is amazing. We love that. We love the fact that you take care of yourself, but there has to be more than you besides your physical appearance. So I'm just thinking about guys like Jordan from The Bachelorette. From what we see, he is very obsessed with his physical appearance. Don't be arrogant about that. Your looks is only one part of you. It is an important part, but there are so many parts of you, so don't let that overshadow who you are. Number 6, someone who is rude. You may not see this side of him because he may be a smooth talker and act very nice and sweet in front of you, but just look at how he treats the waiter, for example, how he treats other people that are around you when you're in the public eye. If you can see that he doesn't treat them very well, if he's disrespectful, then that might be a sign that he may be rude and disrespectful to you in the future. 7 is a little bit more serious, and this is if you're in a very serious long-term relationship. So you really have to consider, where do you see yourself in the future? Do you have similar visions, similar goals, similar lifestyle dreams and desires? So for example, if one person wants to live a very quiet life in the rural area and you want the city life, or you want to live from your suitcase, those are big, drastic decisions and big, drastic lifestyle choices. If you're pretty young, if you're in high school or just getting out of college, your viewpoint on the world is going to change as you get more mature and have more life experience. But if you're at that point in your life where you're ready to settle down, you want to find someone that understands what you are looking for, where they want to go. So those are things that you have to think about. Similar visions, similar lifestyles, and similar beliefs is also a very important one. So for example, if you have a different religion, can you live with that? If you have different political views, can you live with that? So these are serious things that you have to think about for a long-term, good relationship. Number 8, someone who brags about their body count. Why? Just avoid them. Number 9 is a trickier one. This is the type of man that doesn't care about his physical appearance after a few dates. So I feel like this happens when a man is just very comfortable already. He feels like he's got you, so he doesn't feel like he needs to put that much of an effort. For example, he used to dress all nice and he used to shave and he washed his, which should be pretty obvious that he washes every day, but imagine if he gets to that point where he skips a shower. I know this, you shouldn't do that anyways, but a man that starts to not care about his physical appearance, that could be a bad thing. So yes, it is the exact opposite of what I've said before, but you want someone that is going to take care of themselves. Number 10, someone who is aggressive, manipulative, and controlling. They're going to make you feel less than you are, and they're going to make you feel insecure. It's best to avoid these types of men. Number 11, +1, is the type of guy that doesn't show that he's interested in you and that he likes you and appreciates you. Now that is a huge problem. For example, if he doesn't make plans for dates, if he doesn't text you back, which is so rude. So it's similar to what I said before about being rude, but someone that just doesn't show his interest and doesn't care to put that effort in, so you should try to avoid him. Number 12, the type of guy that talks poorly about you in front of his family and friends. And also the type of guy that talks and airs his dirty laundry to his family and friends. Those are things that should come between you, and if he's having a problem with you, he should talk to you about it and not talk poorly about you in front of his friends. Number 13, type of guy. Number 13, the guy who is overly insecure and jealous. Think about that kind of guy that wants to know exactly where you are, who you're with at all times. And I think the most important one is when he asks you who you're with. That to me symbolizes that he has some trust issues if he wants to know that all the time, so better off without him. Number 14 is someone that is dishonest. So, of course, avoid the dishonest people, but I can understand sometimes you want to make a little white lie so you can make them not worry as much, or you don't think that it's really important for them to know. But I don't know, this is a tricky one. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comment section below. What do you think about little white lies? Overall though, like big things, dishonesty is not good. 15 is when you are just getting into that relationship. You have to consider, are they ready to be in a relationship? Are they over that ex? Are they in that point in their life where they can get to know you? Especially when it's at that prime getting to know you stage, it's really important for them to have that time and to have that energy to be able to start something with you. Number 16 is very similar to number 1, someone that has a history of playboy behavior. They have a bad rap. Number 17 is guys that are drug dependent, when they are addicted. And I don't necessarily mean just drugs, someone who is addicted to other types of things that are not good for you. As you know, everything in moderation. So if they have a problem with some type of drug addiction like cocaine or meth, especially, like these types of drugs are very bad, and you don't want to be part of that problem. As much as you want to think that you're going to be able to fix them, you're not going to be able to. So avoid them, please. Okay, so number 18, I feel like I have to throw it in there because I made an entire video on this subject. I'm going to link it down below. I talk about Camila Cabello dating Matthew Hussey, and if you're not familiar, Camila Cabello is a 21-year-old singer, very famous singer, and she is dating someone that is 10 years her senior. I think that's how you say it, 10 years her senior. And she is very young and he's more on the older side of the spectrum, if you know what I mean, and he has a lot more life experience. Those are things to consider, but I also want to say that if you see this person and this is going to take a while. When you get to that point where you're in a serious long-term relationship, you have to think about if he is very, and I think this is more true and more serious for a woman if you are the younger one and he's older, for example 10 years, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, I don't know, the list goes up. You have to think about like, how are you going to live your life? It's going to be hard to live 10 years, which is a very long time, 10 years of your life without him. That's going to be very heartbreaking. Can you deal with that? Just something to think about. Number 19 is the type of guy that is too narrow-minded. You want someone who is willing to understand your viewpoint, especially, and I think this is super important when you guys are on completely different sides of personality and beliefs. So you want someone who is willing to really sit down and get to understand why you think the way that you think, and they're not dismissing what you're saying. So that's a form of respect as well. So someone who is open-minded and respectful and appreciates the worldview and cultural views that you have, and willing to reciprocate feelings of understanding about that. Number 20 are types of guys who blame you for their mishaps. That means that they are not taking responsibility for their actions and they are putting the blame on you. The world is hard enough as it is. Why is he putting that extra burden on you and putting blame on you when you're not the one at fault? And again, this is particularly, especially when he is in the absolute wrong and it's all his business and he's sliding it over to you and putting that extra burden on you. You shouldn't have to bear that burden, so definitely avoid this type of guy. Number 21 is similar to the one I talked about, dealing with drug addicts, but someone that has a history of criminal behavior, has charges. It's just better off to avoid them, you know? Number 22 is a tricky one. It is the guy who knows exactly what to say at the right time, the charmer, the smooth talker, whatever you want to call him. So there are pros and cons to this, and let me talk about that. So when I think about the charmer, it's from The Bachelorette. I do watch a lot of Bachelorette. I actually made a recap of one of the finales. I'm going to link it in the description box if you're interested, but I talked about Rachel and Brian, and everyone is saying that Rachel should have picked Peter because Brian is a smooth talker and he knows exactly what to say at the right time to please Rachel. If you look at it right now, how they are doing, Brian and Rachel are very happy, they're engaged, they're going to be married very soon and have kids. It is good to have a man who is very sweet. You want that. You want a man who is sweet, who treats you well, but you should be wary, I think, especially when you're just getting to know someone, when you don't really know what their intentions are, to just examine, are they saying these things just to say them or do they really mean them? And I think this is really hard to detect, especially if you're not really good at detecting guys and you're not a good reader of what their intentions are. So I think this is another tricky one. Leave in the comment section down below and tell me, is it good if a guy is a smooth talker? Is it bad? But overall, it really does depend on their intention. So this is a tricky one. Number 23, you want to avoid the man that doesn't have good morals and good values. Need I say more? Number 24 is the type of man that you know him when you see him. He's the wimp. So for example, if you're at a bar and someone disrespects you, your man, instead of going up to that person, standing up for you and saying that's not right to do that, and showing that kind of respect towards you by acknowledging that it's wrong and calling that person out on their BS, and they don't do that. Instead, they brush it off. That just shows that they're not the type of guy who's going to stand up for you when you need them to and protect you, which is what women want. In general, we want a man who is going to be standing up for us. So I feel like this type of man just lacks a little bit of masculine energy. You want someone who is going to stand up for you and stand up for what is right. Number 25 is the commitment phobe. Well, this is definitely a very serious one when you're in a long-term serious relationship. So for example, if you've never met their parents don't even know that you exist. If their close friends don't know who you are, they're assuming that you guys are just friends. If it's like a secret relationship, if you're not on any of their social media, They may not be social media people, but if that's important to you, then they would definitely show you on their social media. I think that's just a pride thing. Women love to be shown off, and if you're not meeting the people close in their life, or they don't know about you, they don't know you exist, like some of us I think are very sensitive about that. So in general, you want someone that is committed to you, who knows what they want. They want you to be part of their life for a very long time. That's the last one. So you don't want a commitment phobe. Thank you guys so much for watching my video. Those are 25 types of guys that you avoid. Let me know what you think in the comment section. I'm open to hearing what you guys think. I may have not covered everything, and I may have missed some points, but these are just general things that I believe are important to think about. If you enjoyed this video, again, please subscribe to my channel for future videos and turn on that post notification bell. Give this video a thumbs up, and guys, I'll see you in my next video. Have a great day. You're awesome, and see ya. Bye bye.